it's Melanie. Welcome to my channel. Today I have the Once Upon a Book Club Mother's Day Advent Calendar for you. So stay tuned. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. As many of you already know, I am also a mom, and I decided to order several of the Once Upon a Book Club Mother's Day Advent box because I really loved their Christmas Advent box. So this year I ordered myself a Mother's Day Advent box, as well as one for my mother-in-law and one for my mom, because I thought they would both really enjoy it. But I wanted to do an unboxing of it here for you. Now, the way this is supposed to work is there's like a little booklet or something that you're supposed to open up and read the story out of, and then open up a gift. And you're supposed to open this up one gift a day, every day, starting on Mother's Day. But because at this point it's too late to like get this box this year, I thought I would go ahead and show you everything that's in this box and read the story to you and all of that. And so maybe you might want to get this box next year for you or another mom you know. So opening it up, and it looks like this. Oh, I'm so excited to get into this. Okay, so this says 5 Days of Mom, a Mother's Day Advent Calendar by Once Upon a Book Club. So at the front, it just tells you that you open the gift after reading the story each day, and you start on Mother's Day and continue on after that. If you don't want to be spoiled for what's in this box, if you have this box yourself, then you don't want to watch this video. But if you haven't ordered it and you want to know what's in the box, then keep watching. So here's the first story. Day 1. A puff of flour floated lazily through the sunlight that filtered through the kitchen window as Rebecca wrestled with dough that had yet to be shaped properly. As the clock ticked ever nearer to 3 p.m., she frantically pulled on her rubber gloves and worked the food coloring into each small ball of sugar cookie dough, slowly turning them various shades of the rainbow. It wouldn't be long before the quiet of the house was overtaken with shrieks and giggles, but in this moment, Becky was at peace with the repetitive kneading of the dough. Scooping the last few balls of dough onto the cookie sheets, she popped them into the oven and swept the remaining flour off the counter with a towel. Before she knew it, the clock struck 3 and the door flew open in a tizzy of mayhem and glee. Her 4 children and each of their best friends flew into the house, and suddenly the colorful cookies no longer filled the tray on the kitchen island, but the hands of all 8 children. They clamored for the green ones that turned their tongues teal, and the pink ones which tinted their lips. They chattered like monkeys, spreading crumbs across the kitchen floor and turning Rebecca's orderly kitchen into a room of disarray and chaos in a matter of minutes. As the children piled their hands high with cookies, shouting various activities they'd be doing in their separate corners of the house, the hurricane receded, multiple doors slammed, and Rebecca was left with the aftermath. She tossed the dirty towel over her shoulder and began to wipe down the counters once again. The bar stools were straightened, the cookie sheets were rinsed, and the lingering ingredients were put back in their rightful places. Rebecca collapsed onto the couch, one of the cookies she'd tucked away from the thieves who had taken all the others, clutched in her palm. She closed her eyes and thought back to when her children couldn't wait to come home to see her, bounding through the front door in a swarm of hugs and kisses. While they had grown up so much since then and become fiercely independent, she sometimes missed their constant need to be driven somewhere, homework help, or even attempting to help them muddle through their middle school drama. She sat up and stretched, feeling the towel that had a permanent place on her shoulder fall to her lap. She picked it back up and tossed it back onto its rightful home when something unique caught her eye. No longer resided the plain gray towel that had been there this afternoon. Instead, a new white tea towel displaying drawings from her oldest daughter featuring a woman and her children in various tasks. Written boldly across the center were the words, "Not all heroes wear capes." Aww! Glancing up with tears in her eyes, her children came around the corners from their hiding place, climbed onto the sofa with her, and snuggled into her sides as she wrapped them all into a giant hug. "Thank you for everything you do for us, Mom. You're basically a superhero. Don't think we don't appreciate it. her wise 17-year-old said through the pile of arms intertwined with each other. Becky didn't have much to say in response to that, as she was just so grateful that her fiercely independent children remembered that a little gratitude can go a long way. She tossed a beautiful tea towel over her shoulder and wrapped her kids in another hug before she stood to make dinner, thanking them for their thoughtful gift. "Oh, don't worry, Mom. We got this." Her kids ran ahead of her into the kitchen with a clamor of pans and shrieks of, "I want to do that part," yelled over the water coming on and the ingredients being pulled from their cabinets. Rebecca smiled, grateful for the love of her children, and looked once again at the towel they'd given her. "Don't worry, they're cooking. There'll be plenty of use for you," she laughed, as she tossed the towel over her shoulder and went back into the kitchen to be the silent hero, only there if they needed her. Oh, okay. So let's find gift 1. So here's day 1, and this is the Not All Heroes Wear Capes tea towel. So you can see all the little images on it. How cute is that? That's very sweet. I like that. Okay, now for day 2. Flight 728 to Albuquerque is now welcoming passengers for Group A. Welcome aboard. The cheery voice of the airline agent rang over the intercom as Sheila collected her things and joined the dozens of people heading for the Sky Bridge. After spending a week with her nieces in Boston, it was time to head back to reality. She traveled at least twice a year to see her sister and her children, always having a wonderful vacation with her family, telling stories, creating unique dinners, and of course the gift exchange. Traditionally, each time she arrived, she'd have a gift for each of the 2 girls, and they would always have a gift for her. However, this time, they told her that she was not allowed to open it until she arrived back in Boston. They made her promise not to peek, and the wrapped package sat safely at the bottom of her carry-on, promise intact. She snagged an aisle seat about halfway down the plane and turned on her noise-canceling headphones, tuning out for the remainder of the flight. Upon touchdown and picking up her car, she drove home, exhausted from the time difference and hours spent in the air. She unlocked her front door and tossed the bag onto the armchair in the living room, craving a shower after the duration of time spent in close quarters with strangers. She popped in a movie, sat on the couch with her quick dinner, and promptly fell asleep shortly into the film, forgetting all about the mystery at the bottom of her carry-on. When Sheila awoke the next morning, she scrambled to get the house back to functioning order after her week away and prepared her regular Saturday evening out with friends. Her carry-on bag remained untouched on the armchair, seemingly forgotten. She met with her friends at their regular restaurant, and she chatted and shared stories of her nieces and sister and their week together in Boston. They went around the table chatting about the upcoming work week, anticipated adventures, and their meals, which were absolutely delicious. As the night wore down, the friends parted ways, and they each walked to their cars to head home. As Sheila unlocked her driver's door, her bag got caught in the handle and tore open, spilling the contents on the ground. With a sigh, she reached down and collected her wallet, phone, lipstick, and various movie ticket stubs and receipts, tossing them onto the passenger seat. As she arrived home, she grabbed the contents and spread them over her kitchen counter, resigned to worry about them in the morning. Sunday morning came, and she sipped her coffee against the counter, enjoying the warm sunshine and preparing for a mild day around the house. As she placed her mug down, her phone lit up with a video request from her sister's house in Boston. "Good morning, Aunt Sheila!" the 2 girls screeched into the monitor as soon as she accepted the call. "Oh my gosh, good morning," Sheila said with a laugh. "How are you guys doing? Want me to come back yet?" Sheila's sister laughed in the background, yet the 2 girls missed the joke and immediately screamed "Yes!" into the microphone. "We wanted to see how you liked your present," Chelsea, the older girl, said. Sheila had completely forgotten to open her gift, as yesterday had been such a hectic game of catch-up. "Oh, I completely forgot, sweetie. I'll go grab it right now and you can watch me open it, okay?" Lauren, the younger one, smiled excitedly. "Yes, go get it!" Sheila carried the phone into the living room as she dug through the carry-on bag to pull out the wrapped gift. "All right, here we go." She set the phone on the table as she peeled back the teal floral paper to reveal an adorable clutch bag featuring the phrase, "I am not afraid of storms, for I am learning how to sail my ship." "Turn it over, turn it over!" Lauren squealed giddily, jumping up and down in her seat. Sheila flipped the bag to see an adorable design that looked like the book Little Women right down to the 4 main characters drawn onto the cover. "The 2 dark-haired ones are you and Mom. The blonde is me and the brunette is Lauren," Chelsea explained. "We thought it might be a nice way to think of us when you're not here." Sheila speechlessly turned the bag over in her hands and smiled up at the camera. "Girls, you have to know I am always thinking of you. Thank you so much for this. My bag just broke last night, so this is absolutely perfect. I love you both so much." The conversation only lasted a few minutes more, but the beautiful gift was one she would cherish always. Sheila went to the kitchen and filled the bag with the contents of her old broken purse and stood it on the counter, ready to go whenever her next adventure called. She may not know where she would be going or who it would be with, but her girls would always be right by her side. Oh, I love these little stories. A day 2. So it's this little like leathery, not really leather, but like faux leather kind of clutch. So we have the "I'm not afraid of storms, for I'm learning how to sail my ship." And then on this side is Little Women. Cute. Okay, now on to day 3. It had been a long time since Melinda had seen her grandchildren. Technology made the distance easier, yet it was always unfortunate when the weeks turned into months and she hadn't seen her family members in all that time. Her small dog kept her company enough, as well as all the clubs and organizations she belonged to. However, being without those she loved was a difficult situation, one that she hoped would be different every day. The chime of her tablet startled her, and she saw a video call from her son Mark. She answered, eager to see the face of her eldest boy. "Hi, honey," she said, holding the screen a few inches from her mouth. "Hi, Mom. You don't have to hold it that close. We can hear you." Mark's face filled the screen as she pulled the tablet from under her chin and positioned it on her lap. "How are you doing, sweetheart? How are the kids and Samantha? Is everyone okay?" Mark didn't typically call for no reason, so Melinda felt her worry increase. "Everyone is fine, don't worry. We just wanted to call and check in with you. We miss you." Mark held the camera out farther, showing his 2 kids and wife waving in the background. "I miss you too, very much. Why does it look like you're outside?" Melinda could see trees waving in the background. "Oh, we are outside, Mom. All of us." With that, Mark turned the camera around to show not only Samantha and the kids, but his 2 siblings and their kids and significant others waving at the camera. "Oh my goodness, what are you all doing together?" Melinda laughed, thrilled her family was together for any reason, though a bit saddened she wasn't with them. "Well, does anything about the background look familiar, Mom?" Melinda squinted, looking at the trees and the sidewalk and the mailbox in the distance. "It kind of looks like my house, but everything's on the wrong side," she said, confused. "Mom, open the door." Melinda shuffled to the front door and opened it, welcomed by screams of "Surprise!" from her huge family gathered on her front lawn. "Oh my goodness, what is this?" she exclaimed, eager to hug and kiss all of her children and grandchildren she hadn't seen since Christmas. "We wanted to surprise you for Mother's Day. Happy Grandmother's Day, Grandma." One of her youngest offered an explanation, running to hug her. They moved into the backyard where pizzas were delivered and picnic blankets were spread out to enjoy an impromptu afternoon of reconnecting. The children found an old bucket of chalk and headed for the driveway, while the adults caught Melinda up to speed on their latest accomplishments. "We're expecting!" Cassie, Melinda's middle daughter, squealed with her husband Rob. "We wanted to tell you in person, and this just seemed like the perfect time." Hugs were given and congratulations were exclaimed as each child shared their most recent endeavors. It wasn't long before the afternoon turned into evening and the blankets began to be packed up. As exhausted cousins and siblings said goodbye and began to pile into their cars, Mark, Cassie, and Bethany, Melinda's 3 children, lingered behind for a moment, saying their individual goodbyes to their mother before they departed. "We also wanted to give you this. I know you haven't had anything new to read in a while, but we hope this might get you back into the spirit of it." Bethany smiled, handing over a pink polka-dotted package. Melinda carefully opened the package to reveal a new copy of A Mother's Promise by Sally Hempworth. Thrilled, she threw her arms around her 3 children and held them close, squeezing them all as tight as she did when they were just her own babies. "We also wanted to tell you we're making a promise as well," Bethany said, gesturing to the book title. "We each only live a few hours away, and we're going to make sure you get to visit each of our houses at least once a year. We've all got guest rooms you can stay in, and grandbabies who should be able to get to know their grandmother outside of the holiday season. We hope you'll..." Before Bethany could finish the sentence, Melinda was hugging them all again, thrilled at how fortunate she was to have a family like hers. With goodbyes said and promises made, her children filtered back to their cars and waved as they pulled away. Melinda waved long after they were out of sight before shuffling back inside to plan her first trip in many years, eager to see her family again very soon. Oh, so sweet. These stories all make me start to tear up. Okay. Day 3. So the gift is The Mother's Promise by Sally Hempworth, and from what I gather from the book flap, this is about a woman named Alice and her daughter Zoe, and Zoe struggles with crippling social anxiety, and Alice ends up getting sick and having to fight for her life. And it's up to Zoe to reach out for help. Oh, and it's pink. I just saw that. It's a pink book. Woo! It matches my shirt and my eye makeup and my hair. Day 4. Amanda couldn't believe she hadn't slept in over 2 days. Her newborn screamed every time she would put him down in his bassinet, and it had become a constant battle of who was going to outlast who. Amanda's husband, Nick, did as much as he could to help. However, without paternity leave, he wasn't around near as much as he wanted to be. Amanda struggled with getting into a rhythm with her new son, exhausted and stretched much thinner than she'd prefer to be. Everyone told her having a baby would change things, and she had prepared, as much as one could, for sleepless nights and incredible stress. Yet it was amazing to her how quickly it got to her. Her son Jamie was just a few weeks old, yet his lungs had seemed to develop to the level of a few years old toddler with the amount of screaming and crying he was capable of. The glider chair in his room had become Amanda's temporary bed, as she would rock him until she started to doze off herself, and his shrieks would wake her right back up. She had become one with her wrap carrier, securing him in as she went through her day like a zombie, sterilizing bottles, doing laundry, and anything else she could come up with to keep her hands busy and prevent her from falling asleep. It was a long few weeks before her husband came home on a Friday night and announced he was taking a week's vacation early to help out. "Nick, we talked about this. We can't." A yawn overtook the rest of her sentence, preventing her from even arguing properly anymore. "You have not slept since we had him. You need rest. One decent night's sleep will just make you feel so much better. I promise." Nick had unwrapped the carrier from her shoulders and was cradling Jamie in his arms as he led her to the bedroom. "Oh, look, and something to aid with your relaxation," he smirked as he headed back to the kitchen, nodding toward the bed as he left. She resisted the urge to immediately collapse onto the blankets and tore back the floral paper to reveal a pink sleep mask with the words, "Tired as a mother," scrawled across the iPad in white font. She stifled a laugh at how perfect it was as she pulled it on and curled up under the sheets, immediately falling asleep, burp towel on her shoulder and all. 9 hours later, Amanda pulled off the sleep mask and stretched, absolutely thrilled at how good she felt. She bounded down the hall almost directly into Nick, who was walking down the hall with a bottle in hand. "Good morning, sunshine," he laughed. "Have you seen your hair yet today?" "Where is he? Is everything okay? Why is he quiet?" She frantically realized all the things she had to do, and Jamie needed to sleep. "Mandy, he's fine, look." Nick pushed open the bedroom door, showing a calm infant asleep in his own bassinet, no parents required. What did you... Amanda was dumbfounded at how Nick had gotten him to sleep without holding him, but in that moment, she truly didn't care. "It's a guy thing, sweetie." He kissed the top of her head and headed into the baby's room to prepare for the inevitable good morning screams. She sighed a breath of relief and walked into the kitchen where a pot of coffee sat waiting for her. Refreshed and rejuvenated, Amanda felt herself relaxed for the first time in weeks. Today would be a good day with her little family, and it had only just begun. And now our gift for day 4. Can you guess what it is? It's the sleep mask that says tired as a mother, and it's very like satiny and thick and plush, and again, it matches me. I'm always tired and I never get sleep. Okay, on to the last story here, day 5. As Cindy arrived at the restaurant, she scrolled through her phone in the driver's seat as she awaited the arrival of her daughter. Jackie was almost late, so she hadn't planned to arrive too early. However, she was so excited for their mother-daughter brunch that she couldn't help it but be there a few minutes before the agreed upon time. Jackie was busy with a life and a family of her own, so the time they had together was rare. Cindy was eager to spend some quality time with her daughter and enjoy a relaxing morning in each other's company. A tap on her window came, and Jackie stood outside, smiling and giddy to see her mother. As her mother opened her car door, Jackie wrapped her in a massive hug and linked arms as they headed into the restaurant. As they were seated in their booth, Jackie chatted about her latest work project and her husband's new career, excited to update her mother on all the new avenues her life was venturing toward. So yeah, we're really loving the new house, and I'm just so excited for you to come and see it. Jackie smiled as she spread butter onto her English muffin. What's going on with you? How's Dad? Cindy began to relay the recent events of her husband's bike races and her latest work excursion when Jackie's phone rang. Sorry, Mom, she glanced at the screen. 1 second. She stood from the table and walked outside to take the call. Cindy sat in the booth, a little hurt that her daughter had allowed her phone call to cut off her story, but she brushed it off, knowing how busy Jackie's life was and expecting her to be back soon. 20 minutes later, Jackie ran back in and plopped down in the booth. Sorry about that crazy work thing. Anyway, you went to Ireland, acting as though the phone call had never happened. Cindy shrugged it off and restarted her story of her trip to the cliffs of Moher when Jackie's phone beeped rapidly, multiple times, emphasizing the number of texts she was receiving. After the 5th beep, Cindy stopped and huffed. Should you take that? Jackie glanced down at the screen and unlocked her phone, fingers flying across the keyboard. Sorry, Mom. Keep going, though. So you went all the way up. She continued to type as she said this, glancing down at the screen periodically to check for typos. Yeah, we went... The rapid movement of Jackie's fingers while her mother tried to speak was infuriating. Jackie, I thought we were going to have lunch to relax, not so you could work. Cindy snapped, annoyed at how inconsiderate her daughter was being. Jackie glanced up, typed a few more letters, and turned her phone off. I'm sorry, I'm up for a new promotion and I'm so nervous if I stop working, they won't... I'm just trying to show them I deserve it, you know? Jackie looked embarrassed. Oh, sweetheart, I'm so proud of you. Why didn't you tell me you were up for a promotion? Cindy reached across the table to grab her daughter's hand, running her fingers over her knuckles like she did when she was little. They sat like that until their entrees came, enjoying the comfort of each other's presence as they settled in for a chat unlike any they had had in years. It seemed like no time at all had passed when Jackie glanced at her watch and realized they'd been there almost 3 hours. As they finished their coffee and gathered their things, Jackie exclaimed, "Oh, this is for you." She reached down for a little blue box tied with a ribbon and slid it across the table to her mom. "What's this for?" Jackie shrugged. "Because I love you." Her mother opened the box, revealing a tiny pendant with one large circle intertwined with one small circle. She looked up to see Jackie holding up her own necklace, a perfect match. It represents the bond between a mother and daughter. I have one, now so do you. Cindy clasped the pendant behind her neck and stood to embrace her daughter. As they left the restaurant, they hugged one more time and promised to call each other with weekly updates regarding everything, including promotions. While Jackie may have a full and hectic life, Cindy was so proud of the woman she had grown up to be. She reached up and rubbed her fingers over the intertwining circles, knowing that no matter where Jackie may go, their bond was one that could never be broken. Aww. And then we have gift number 5, which is in a little blue box with a ribbon. So cute. If you haven't watched any of my other Once Upon a Book Club unboxings, this is how they go, but usually it's with a published book like Children of Blood and Bone. And as you're reading the book, you get to pages that have a little sticky note in it saying to open your gift for that page. And I just absolutely love them because it just makes the story so much more interactive. So here is the mother-daughter infinity bracelet. How sweet. And then in the back here, there is a mother-daughter bucket list. It says, if you're a mom looking to make special memories with her little girl or a daughter looking to bond with mom, we have compiled a list of 10 ideas to consider adding to your mother-daughter bucket list. No matter the scale of the activity, each of these have the potential to lead to incredible moments. Number 1, volunteer together. Helping others not only brings you closer to your community, but can also tighten those mother-daughter bonds. Number 2, go to a concert together. Live music can bring so much happiness. Even if you don't share similar tastes in music, you can still have fun. Number 3, read a book together. Remember the days when you would read bedtime stories together? Just because your little one is growing up doesn't mean that has to stop. Choose a book to read at the same time and create your own book club. Number 4, do something daring. Do either of you have a more adventurous side? Think about going ziplining, skydiving, jet skiing, or parasailing together. You can support one another as you get out of your comfort zone. I've actually tried to convince Becca to go skydiving with me and she's like, nah. Though my mom said she would do it. Number 5, prepare a holiday meal together. Cooking together can start at a young age. Even the littlest ones can help bake a cake. But as the years go by, mom and daughter can work together to create a memorable meal for the whole family. Number 6, visit a place from your childhood. Connect with your daughter by taking her to visit someplace special from your childhood. It's one thing talking to her about your youth, but bringing her back to where it happened adds a whole other dimension. Number 7, plan a road trip. Remember, road trips are all about the actual trip and less about the final destination. Brainstorm ideas for a theme trip. Flea markets, tourist traps, museums, totally up to you. Number 8, plant a garden. Another great way to get outside and get your hands dirty, find a spot in your yard to plant a garden. You can plant flowers to attract butterflies or veggies for future family meals. Number 9, surprise grandma with a day out. Why limit to a mother-daughter date when all 3 of you can go out on the town? She'll love spending time with her favorite girls and you'll totally make her day. Number 10, make a time capsule. Gather photos and other mementos to mark a special time in your lives. Put them all in a box or container and bury it to open up at a later date. Well, those sound like fun. So what did you guys think of this box? Did you like it? Did you not? What was your favorite item? Comment down below and let me know. Well, I want to say another great big happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. You are amazing. And like the tea towel said, not all heroes wear capes. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below. And until next time, remember to always be completely you.